Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the subtopic of 2.2 inequalities. Can you hear me? If you can, please say hi or say good evening or something so that I know you can hear me. Yes, you can hear me then. Thank you so much for all of the response. Good evening, everybody. Uh, Welcome to the chapter 2. We are still at the chapter 2. But now this part is 2.2 inequalities. Thank you all for the responses. Um, let's begin by looking at the learning goal. Just go through a bit of these 4 learning goals here. The first one is to relate the properties of inequalities. We will go through later. And then next goal is to find the linear inequality. So next one is to find the quadratic inequalities by algebraic or graphical approach. And the last one, we will find the rational inequalities. And here goes, I will emphasize the important 3 goals here, which is linear, quadratic, and rational inequality. 3 ni sahaja yang akan kita fokuskan. Cumanya saya dengan penuh harapan bahawa you faham the real meaning of inequalities. So basically, inequalities is definitely not the same as equations. Okay, definitely not understand as equations. We have learned 2.1 equations. So many equations that we have done the exercises, right? So basically, 2.1 equation, dia sentiasa simbolnya equal. You agree? So the equal sign is everywhere. I mean, for when they ask you to solve equations problem lah, betul tak? And of course, soalan mesti ada simbol ini, this sign here, for every equations problem. The thing is, when you encounter a problem where they say this is linear inequality, so kalau dia bagi tahu inequality, automatically you sudah pun tahu bahawa soalan dia, problem dia akan berbentuk more than or equal, or less than or equal. Is it clear? So you must very understand the word inequalities representing everything here except kecuali equation. This is the meaning of inequalities. Okay, so you better understand that definition. This is a very crucial definitions for all of us to understand. We only have these 4 choices for inequalities. Cumanya goal kita pada petang ini adalah mengenai bukan takat belajar linear, tapi kita akan belajar juga quadratic dan juga rational. So let's begin with linear inequalities. I show you the first example here. Negative 2x more than or equal to 8. So basically, kalaulah linear equation, betul tak? Kalau linear equation, seolah-olah bentuk dia adalah negative 2x is equals to 8. Therefore, 8 is equals to negative 4. So we call this linear equation because of the symbol of equal sign. Cumanya sekarang bukan lagi equal. Kita ada more than or equal. Ada more than, ada inequality di situ. But the technique is the same. We divide both sides with negative 2. We divide both sides. Okay, maksud dia, konsep dia adalah divide both sides, kedua-dua belah, divide both sides with negative 2. So this is what I'm doing, divide both sides. And so I will get an x value. I will get x will be less than or equals to -4. Di sini you akan tanya saya, Madam, kenapa less than? Why does it become less than now? Okay, it is because you are dividing a negative number. So when you are dividing dividing a negative number, the sign is changing. Sign changes. You can look at the properties in your notes there. Kenapa sign dia changes? So you look at these properties of inequalities. Jika soalan berbentuk A is more than B, let's say this is just beginning ya. If A lebih besar daripada B, jadinya kalau A lebih besar daripada B, dan jika C ini tambahan tau. C ini adalah nombor tambahan. Di mana C ini adalah negative value. When C is negative value, dia punya simbol akan bertukar. This is what I'm talking about. The symbol there, initially it is more than B. Initially it is A greater than B. But after you times it with a negative value, kan? Bila you buat operasi tambah, you buat operasi darab ataupun bahagi, you will automatically, the properties of the inequality say that kalau kita bahagi ataupun kita darab, in this case dia darab lah. In this case dia darab. Okay. Kalau didarabkan dengan nombor yang negatif, which is less than 0, C is less than 0 means negative value. It means the sign changes. Okay, sign changes. So this is exactly what we are encountering right now. When you divide with a negative value or you times it with a negative value, it is automatically, okay, operasi, sign changes. Sign changes apabila berkait dengan operasi, apa kita panggil tadi? Operasi darab ataupun bahagi sahajalah. Alright, if you tambah ataupun you tolak, the sign is still the same, isn't it? The sign still greater. Follow the origin baliklah. Sama juga kalau you darab, kalau you darab positive value, you see here when you darabkan dengan positive value, the sign is still the same. Cumanya, bila sign dia negative value sajalah, when the sign is negative value sahaja, dia akan sign changes. Whether it's times or whether it's division, it's the same thing. Asalkan this, you just imagine that this is a C value lah. This is sort of like a C value. You're trying to divide with something, So basically this is the answers. Inilah jawapan dia sebenarnya. Cumanya saya nak mengajar tentang jawapan yang lebih tepat untuk ditulis dalam syllabus kita. It is actually we need this curly bracket such that, tutup curly bracket. This dot means such that. Okay, so I hope you know that. And there is another answer which we can write it in interval. Interval answer is from -infinity until -4, tutup kurungan dengan close bracket. That is the answer for interval form. In interval form, I want you to write down both answers. Okay, let's go forward to the next part. Here, we need to find the value of x. That's our goal, we know that. And this is still inequality, and this is, -4. So in order to eliminate this -4, I need to do +4 both side. Okay, so dia akan jadi 8 tambah 4 lah dekat sini. In this case, tak perlulah kita tulis 8 tambah 4, kita tulislah 12 terus. Okay, so bila you tambah tolak, the sign is still the same. Because according to the properties, kalau kita tambah, the sign does not change, sign is still the same. Jadi sekarang ni kita perlu cari nilai x, where x will be greater than 6. And so our final answer is curly bracket x such that tutup curly bracket. So I hope you can understand the requirement in our syllabus. We need to write down such that, okay? Maybe I can write it here. This is x such that. Ini maksudnya x such that. Okay, kita perlu tulis benda, kita bukanlah perlu tulis, kita kena faham maksud ni. And then another way of writing the answer is 6 will be until infinity, where 6 is not included. And so that's the answer in interval notation, remember? Ataupun interval form. While this is called as set notation. So I hope we already encountered this in our tutorials and lectures, which there are two ways of answers, okay, to deliver it. And next example here we have -7 less than 2x plus 3x, 2 plus 3x, and then less than 8. So we can make 3x as a subject. Jadikan 3x di tengah-tengah tu. Kita akan dapat -7 plus 2, isn't it? So -2. So -7 plus 2 is just -7 minus 2 is just -9. And here goes 8 minus 2 will give you 6. Kalau you masih belum jelas kenapa, let me tell you why. So what I did here is just I minus 2 every part. Every part I minus 2. For every part, yeah? For every part of the inequalities lah. That's why I got here -9 for -7 minus 2, and here 8 minus 2 is 6. So the symbol is still there, tidak berubah. Okay? Sign tidak berubah. Tak ada apa-apa pun yang perlu diubah di situ. And so here goes 3x. No, we just want the value of x, which gonna give us here -3, and here is 2. Therefore, the final answer is just x such that, okay, x such that -3 is less than x is less than 2, tutup curly bracket. Another way of answering this is -2 until 2 both are open bracket. Sebab apa dia open? Sebab dia tak ada equal sign. That's why it's open. Now, this is the crucial part. This is crucial. Very important. I call it VVIP. Sebab apa? Sebab ini adalah apa ni kita panggil? Ini adalah linear juga, betul. Ini adalah linear. Selagi mana you berjumpa dengan, ax plus b, all of these are linear. Okay, and I want to, before I start this question, solving this problem, I would like to show you that this is called as linear inequality. Di mana all of these are linear. Can you see that? All of these are ax plus b. It means already enough linear lah, kita dah faham. Cumanya whether it's different sign lah, according to the question, up to the question. And before I start, some of you might think, madam ni macam rational, ratio kan, ada per ni kan. Tapi sebenarnya dia juga dikenali sebagai linear inequality. Kenapa dia dipanggil sebagai linear? Because this is still a linear. Kalau you bahagikan, you asingkan, this is still called as linear, isn't it? Walaupun dia ada pecahan, tapi dia dipanggil sebagai linear sebab A ini adalah 1/2. Manakala 3/4 ni adalah B. So this is still AX plus B. So these are still linear problem. That is what I'm saying. Okay, this is still linear inequalities. Cumanya saya nak suggest apabila you mendapat soalan linear inequality yang bentuk pecahan, tolong jangan, ini penting. Tolong jangan cross multiply. I want to make sure that you do not cross multiply. So what you can do is 2x minus 3 divided with 4. Okay, I need you to minus both sides with -2 so that di belah kanan ni hilang menjadi kosong. This is what I'm begging you to do, where you must make sure that you got this less than or equal to 0. This is our goal, you know. We gotta make sure that everything is 0. Just now, okay, mungkin ni tak nampak lah kosong kan. Yalah atas ni mungkin, madam tadi kata kena 0, tak ada 0 pun. Okay, let's say if I rearrange this. Still lah, betul, memang kena tak nak kena dapatkan value of x. I mean, we have to, you know, not necessarily every problem should be 0. But untuk soalan yang begini, maksud saya, untuk soalan problem yang berbentuk begini, it is advisable if you can move the number 2, you know, it's not about moving, it's about minus both side, you know, -2 with both side, like what I did here, so that belah kanan ni hilang, jadi kosong kan. That's our goal, you know, that there is a reason, and I will tell you the reason di soalan seterusnya, bukan di soalan ni. So the next part is where you can, you know, samakan denominator. When you equate the denominator, you will get 2x minus 3 minus 8 lah. And therefore, you will get 2x minus 11 over 4, isn't it? And then all of a sudden, madam macam, oh, the answer is just 2x minus 11 less than or equal to 0. Therefore, x is actually Therefore, x is actually 11 over 2. So this is the answer, isn't it? Yes, this is the answer. I just wondering that madam tadi kata tak boleh cross multiply. Kalau boleh, jangan cross multiply. But when this part come across to us, yang ini macam madam hanya solve bahagian atas saja, you see. It is actually, sometimes we can apply cross multiply. It is just that it is advisable to move this number to the left hand side, because there will be a more difficult question for us later, you know. So this part is where kita sebenarnya, kalau lah sebenarnya dan secara matematiknya, when we have a numbers here, selain daripada unknown lah kan, selain unknown, actually we can cross multiply. Kalau dia nombor bulat, you know, kalau dia nombor bulat, we can actually cross multiply. Sebab itulah nombor 4 ni hilang. That's why kita hanya kira di belah atas saja. That's the reason. Nombor 4 itu tidak significant. Therefore, it's nothing there. And so that's our answer. Therefore, the final answer is just curly bracket x such that tutup curly bracket. And another answer is just from negative infinity until 11 over 2. But then this 11 over 2 is included. And so we put close bracket like this. Okay. So basically, tidak apa if you do not catch up now. Why? Let's just move forward to the next example. So kita dah selesai linear inequalities. Sekarang ni kita nak pergi ke arah quadratic inequalities. So quadratic inequalities, as you know, we have quadratic equation. But quadratic equation, quadratic equation adalah ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. This equal sign, because as again, this is the problem of equation. Sekarang ni kita bukan nak selesaikan equation, kita nak selesaikan quadratic juga, cumanya everything here is inequalities. So that is our goal today. The next goal is solving quadratic inequalities. How do I know all of this is quadratic? Sebab bila saya darab masuk, saya akan automatically berjumpa dengan quadratic. That's why I see here 3x squared minus 15x. And then here goes another squared. Nampak je squared, automatically this is quadratic already. And so what we have to do is just, ini adalah 4x. I thought it's a x here, but no. So this is 2 times 2x is 4x, pardon me. And so we rearrange them dalam bentuk quadratic punya form. Quadratic form is ax squared plus bx plus c, isn't it? So we have to write it down this way. We will get 3x squared minus 19x plus with 6. Right? And so we can factorize them. Okay, you can factorize them using your calculator, ataupun you can use your brain either. So this is 1 times 6 gonna give me 18. So minus is 19. So that is our answer untuk quadratic inequality yang ini. Okay. So now, how do we solve quadratic inequality? Sedangkan kita hanya belajar sebelum ni, kita pernah belajar sebelum ni adalah equation saja, betul tak? Bila ada equation, this is equation, kita terus boleh cari x is equals to 1/2, 1/3, or x is equals to 6. So basically we have 2 answers, right? So bila kita ada 2 jawapan, dan macam mana kita nak tulis jawapan kita dalam bentuk equal pula? Padahal kita diminta untuk menyelesaikan soalan yang berbentuk inequalities. That is our problem. And so here goes the technique. We need TOS. TOS adalah table of sign. Quadratic inequalities can be solved by using the table of sign. That's why here in the notes I've given you the table of sign. This is the table of sign. This is where I given to you in exam. Of course, tidak diberi table ini. You gotta draw it yourself. But now, as the first lesson, I have provided you with TOS in your lecture note, and where I need to put the smallest number in front here until big number at the back. Kecil ke besar lah. So yang nombor di depan kecil 1/3, nombor 6 di belakang sebab dia besar. And then the interval here, this is step 1 lah. Step 1 letak interval. Di mana interval ini mempunyai negative infinity sampai 1/3. Okay. And then 1/3 sampailah 6. Dan 6 sampailah infinity. So infinity, negative infinity, of course lah saya tahu memang dia sentiasa open bracket. Tetapi apalah yang di sini pula? Apakah intervalnya? Sama ada dia open bracket or dia close bracket, or even half open. How do I know which one? How do I know which one? It is actually based on your this one. Based on your latest, saya panggil dia latest inequality lah. The latest inequality said that we have a less than or equal sign. So kalau ada less than or equal sign, dia bermaksud it is or it is close bracket. Both numbers here will need you to use close bracket. So here untuk semua nombor 1/3 dan nombor 6, semuanya close bracket. Begini caranya. So you must double check whether you can use close or whether you can use bracket, open bracket. Okay, you kena hati-hati. Di sini penentuan dia. Di sini penentuan the latest inequalities, which mean bahagian bawah ni lah. This is the latest. After simplified, after factorized, this is the latest part where there is an equal sign. So apabila mempunyai equal sign, it means it is included. The number is included. Therefore, we put a close bracket. Nombor dua-dua ini termasuk. Sebab itulah kita kena letak close bracket. So now step yang kedua adalah dalam interval ni, this is actually test value tau. Jangan takut pula, X is actually test value. This is test value. Test value apa? Test value di tengah-tengah ni lah. So I choose the test value here is 0. And I choose test value here is 1. And I choose test value here is 7. Very close lah, very close. 7 is inside of this interval. 1 is inside of this interval. 0 is inside of this interval. So basically cari nombor yang senang untuk dikira. And then third one is put in each factor. Saya panggil ni factor. This is factor. Setiap satu ni factor, masukkan dia. Okay, jangan lupa masukkan setiap satu factor ni. And then yang di bawah sekali barulah tulis soalan dia. Soalan dia adalah inequality ni lah. You must write down the inequalities back lah as a whole, as a conclusion number 5. Okay. So make sure you write all of this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dulu. Barulah you kira setiap satu ni macam mana. So cara nak kira pun senang saja. Kosong ini masukkan ke dalam 3x tolak 1. So 3 times this to 0 is 0. So 0 minus 1 is negative sign. Manakala 1 darab 3 is 3. 3 tolak 1, 2. So it's a positive sign. Manakala ini 7 darab 3, 21 tolak 1, 20. It's a positive sign. Letak positive sign or negative sign sahaja. Manakala kosong tolak 6, negatif. 1 tolak 6, negatif. 7 minus 6, positive. So it's a negative, positive. Just put the sign inside of this TOS. Therefore, apabila dia didarab, this is didarab kan? Of course lah, negative, positive. Positive, negative, positive, positive. So the answer is positive. The answer is positive, negative, positive. This is not the answer lah, obviously. The answer is actually based on your latest inequalities. Your latest inequalities saying that we need to use this symbol. This symbol is VVIP. This symbol is very, very important, you tahu tak? Kenapa dia sangat penting? Ni sangat penting. Kenapa dia sangat penting? Sebab dia adalah penentuan you dapatkan jawapan yang tepat. Kenapa saya kata dia sangat penting? Sebab this is less than or equal to 0, di mana ia adalah pemilihan jawapan you yang terakhir sekali. Apabila the symbol is less than or equal, the answer is negative sign. When it is a negative sign, you just took this as your final answer. Therefore, jawapan saya yang terakhir adalah 1/3 included until 6 is also included. That is our answer. We can also write it in terms of set notation, di mana x such that -1/3 is less is less than 6, tutup kurungan. So kita ada dua jenis jawapan di sini. Satu adalah dalam interval form dan satu lagi dalam set notation. So I would really love to remind you, why do I pick these answers? Saya tahu ini jawapan saya. Teknik TOS. Ini adalah
I found this on the web for 1/3 is less.
So saya nak menerangkan bahawa ini adalah negatif. Kenapa dia negatif? Kenapa saya pentingkan negatif? It is just because of this symbol. Okay, this symbol shows us that we need to pick these answers. Okay, so now let's go forward to next example. You akan lebih jelas kenapa jawapan dia ini. Let's go to the next example. You akan faham apa maksud menggunakan TOS. I hope you are doing it together with me. You tulis di dalam buku lecture you. Kertas nota yang saya dah print out untuk you all. Please write it down there. Jangan tengok saja, jangan dengar saja. Mathematics, we need to write it down constantly, you know. So here goes. We have a quadratic again. Sebelum jawab, lebih baiklah untuk baca soalan dan kita faham bahawa ini adalah quadratic inequalities. Macam mana saya tahu dia quadratic? Sebab dia ada negative x squared. So now I've do my first step as rearranging. Rearrange it. Saya susun dia dalam bentuk quadratic form lah kan, supaya saya senang nak menyelesaikan soalan. And in this case, saya perlu faktorkan negative value. So inside of the bracket will be positive 3x squared plus 7x minus 6. Okay. And now I would like to divide both sides with a negative 1. So apabila kita divide both sides ataupun kita darab both sides with a negative value, simbol ni akan bertukar. Why? Because by understanding the properties of inequalities, ini propertiesnya, saya dah terangkan tadi kan, apabila C negative value, dia akan bertukar simbol daripada more than jadi less than and vice versa lah. So in this case, this got negative and this got more less than. Therefore, when you transform it, it will become 3x squared plus 7x minus 6 will become now more than 0. Dia dah jadi automatically more than pula. Opposite sign, ya. Opposite sign sebab kita bahagi. Divide both side dengan negative 1. So kita dah faham lah. And so we are so happy that we can now factorize them. Jangan lupa factorizekan macam biasa. We will get 3x squared. Here, 3x and here goes the x. And here goes here goes 3 times. Oh, this is 6. Not good. Here goes 2, here goes 3. Sebab 9 minus 2 is 7. Ya, betul. So now dekat sini, inilah jawapan pemfaktoran saya, di mana saya tulis semula dalam bentuk equation, you know. Still kena tulis dalam bentuk equation lah. Janganlah kita ubah dia, betul tak? Tadi step yang saya buat, saya daripada inequality, daripada inequality ni saya tukarkan dia menjadi equation, right? Tak apalah. Untuk apa? Untuk dapatkan nilai ni. Untuk mendapatkan nilai X. Jadi nak tak nak terpaksa ganti sekejap sahaja. Make it an equation for a moment only. Just temporary to get the value of X is equals to 2 over 3 or X is equals to negative 3. That is the only purpose, okay? Kenapalah saya nak jadikan dia equal sekejap? Because I need to find this value. And these two values is actually bukan equal. Kenapa? Can you tell me? Can you spare 1 minute, 30 second lah, to type on your comment there in the comment chat there? Can you tell me why? Why do I put negative equal, negative equal pada setiap satu value of x? Kenapa? Boleh cuba bagi tahu, boleh sharing sedikit tak di komen di situ. Dan kenapa saya, sekarang sih saya bagi tahulah sesuatu jawapan dia, mestilah interval dia, mestilah semuanya open. Kenapa? I would like you to spend 1 minute because it is not more than and equal. Sebab more than, bukan more than or equal. Ada lagi. Sebab dia not equal. There is no equal sign there. Good. There is no equal sign di situ. Sebab itulah saya buat dia sebagai not equal. And that's why this number is showing us that 2/3, negatif 3 paling kecil lah. 2/3 besar sedikit daripada negatif 3. Obviously negative 3 is smaller than 2/3. And now when I put the numbers into the interval, so masukkan ke dalam ini kan. So dekat sini you akan perasan lah, oh madam buat semua open. You dah tahu kenapa kan? You tahu kenapa? Sebab nombor negatif 3 dan 2/3 tidak termasuk. Thank you for those who know it. Well done. Maksudnya you betul fahamlah apa saya ajar hari ini. So you know that this sign has no equal. Di sini no equal. No equal sign. So kalau no equal sign, meaning it is not included. Both numbers, untuk quadratic inequalities, both numbers are not included. Therefore, everything here is open bracket. Open bracket sebab negatif 3 dan 2/3 are not inclusive. So dah faham lah. So I want you to do it by yourself. Use this test value like -4, 0, here goes 2 kan. Masukkan semua perkara penting di dalam ini. Masukkan semua faktor di sini, faktor dia. And then, you write down every important details in this TOS. Masukkan saja. And then you calculate it. Here goes, you will get here negative. This is negative, and here is positive. Well, this one is here negative, positive, positive. Therefore, jawapan akhir adalah positive, negative, positive. So, ni bukan jawapan akhir dia. Dan can you tell me whether sama ada jawapan dia adakah negative sign or positive sign? Can you guess? Boleh cuba teka ke? Adakah jawapan dia positif ataupun negative sign? Can you guess why? What should I choose? A positive, yeah, it's a positive. So I am now going to bulatkan di bahagian positive ni. Disebabkan apa? Disebabkan ini adalah more than or equal sign. Pada mana? Pada latest yang saya buat box ni, pada latest inequality kita. At our latest inequalities here, we have a more than or equal sign di mana tak ada equal lah. But di mana it is more than sign, therefore choose positive sign. Therefore the answer is just from negative infinity until 3 and then 2/3 until infinity. So, jawapan akhir dia adalah negative infinity until negative 3 union. Jangan lupa letak union from 2/3 until infinity. So this union is very important to write there. Dan lagi satu penulisan jawapan adalah x such that x is less than negative 3, or please put the word or, ataupun x is more than 2 out of 3. That is the final answer. So please make sure you understand that we need to write down both answers for every quadratic inequality ke, linear inequality ke. Saya mohon tulislah jawapan dalam dua bentuk cara ini. And suka saya nak ingatkan bahawa kenapa jawapan ini mempunyai union, because we have two answers. We have our two answers here, okay? Our answer here, it's either negative infinity until negative 3 ataupun 2/3 until infinity. So we have two answers, therefore two answers kita gabungkan dia menjadi or for two value of interval ni, for two intervals yang kita nak tunjukkan jawapan ni lah. Remember ya, this positive sign is actually coming from the latest inequalities. The latest bermaksud yang sudah difaktorkan, you know. Kalau you ambil yang original, it will be very dangerous. You will not get this answer. So now let's move forward to the rational. Yay, kita dah sampai ke penghujung. Lagi 2 soalan sahaja dan kita berhenti. So dekat sini please, there's a typo here, a bit of typo dalam nota you all. It should have been an equal sign di bawah ni. Minta maaf ya. Tolong betulkan a little bit of typo here. Di nota kamu should have a negative sign there. So, welcome to the rational inequalities. Ini dipanggil sebagai rational. Kenapa rational? Rational bermaksud ratio. Ratio bermaksud mempunyai pecahan A over B. Tapi dia bukan nombor sajalah. Dia mempunyai unknown atas dan di bawah. Whenever you see an unknown above numerator and below denominator, this is called as rational inequality. Remember, sebelum menjawab, it's very good if we can read the problem very carefully. We read the problem and say that this is rational inequalities. So rational inequalities, teknik dia adalah tak boleh. Okay, make sure you remember this tips that I say to you just now. Tips rational inequality tidak boleh. Rational inequalities tidak boleh lah kan, tidak boleh cross multiply. Okay, kalau you cross multiply, you akan dapat jawapan yang salah. Alright, so it is best to write down x minus 2 over x plus 1 minus with 3 less than or equal to 0. So you got to make sure everything is less than or equal to 0. Bukan apa? Ini. You kena make sure kan setiap kali menjawab rational inequalities, mesti ada 0 di belah kanan ni. Okay? All of these are rational. If you can see my notes here on the right hand side here, all these are rational. Pecahan kan? Cumanya make sure everything on the right hand side is 0. It means that we cannot cross multiply. And I would like you to do your own homework. Why do we cannot cross multiply? You Google lah. Try to Google yourself and you ask the Google, say that kenapa tak boleh cross multiply? Kenapa mesti minus 3 both side? So that on the right hand side here we got 0. Right hand side must 0. Why? Okay, why? Just just check yourself. Check by yourself lah. Kenapa kan? Tapi inilah hakikatnya. Untuk rational inequalities, we must not cross multiply, and so we just solve this direct cara manual, iaitu x plus 1 di bawah, x minus 2 di atas. Dan jangan lupa 3 darab x adalah negatif 3x. Ini tambah 1 lah, betul tak? Tapi saya nak cepat, saya tulis negatif 3x minus 3. So what I did here is I just samakan pembawah dia lah, samakan pembawah dia. And so I got the answer of negative 2x minus 5 divided with x plus 1 less than or equal to 0. When I have a when I have a 0 on the right hand side, I am very safe. I am good. You know that? So basically, jauh pula dia punya table ni. So, sekejap ya, saya adjustkan bagi semua orang nampak. So basically, we already have a simplest ni kita panggil dia the latest lah. This is called as the latest inequality. Latest inequalities masih dalam bentuk inilah less than or equal, Dia tidak berubah lah kan setakat ni. Okay, good. Kenapa saya tahu ini adalah my latest inequalities? Because I can see that this is a factor of a linear. Atas linear, bawah pun linear. So linear bahagi linear, kita faham bahawa dia adalah rational inequalities. So rational inequalities, cara menjawabnya ada sedikit lain dengan quadratic. It is just by make sure numerator dia equalkan dengan kosong, ataupun x tambah 1 equalkan dengan kosong. You cari dua jenis. You make sure dua-dua ni, numerator and denominator is equal to 0, Make sure it's equal to 0 lah. Macam tadi, make sure equal to 0. And hence, x is equals to 5 to negative 5 over 2. Manakala yang ini pula adalah x equals to negative 1, So basically, I would like to remind you that this is not perfect. Bahagian bawah ini, sepatutnya saya tulis untuk x tambah 1, numerator cannot be 0. Okay, this is very important now. This is very crucial. Not many of you sedar bahawa denominator, untuk definisi rational, denominator cannot be 0. That's why anything numerator saya tak mungkin kosong. Kalau dia kosong, dia tak jadi numerator lah. Dia tak jadi dah rational inequalities. So you must please understand the definition of inequalities. Here. Any numerator cannot, cx plus d cannot be equal to 0. Everything is the same. Every rational inequalities are the same. So make sure untuk bahagian denominator sahaja yang not equal to 0. Tetapi yang di atas ini tidak ada masalah. Di atas ini kekalkan dia saja menjadi equal sign. Nothing wrong there. Nothing is wrong. So I would like to remind you again that this has a closed bracket. Okay, untuk negatif 5/2 mempunyai closed bracket. Manakala untuk yang yang tak ada equal ni, There is not equal to 0. Therefore, it's a open bracket. So make sure you be very extra careful. Dua nombor ini tidak semestinya dua-dua sama bracket dia. Okay, so what I'm saying here is you put the number -5/2 paling kecil. When you put in the number, when you put in the numbers here, but then you need to remind yourself that, oh, madam, we need to put in the interval. The interval whether it's open or not. So in this case, kita tahu bahawa -1, it should be open. -1 should be open. Untuk -1, dia wajib open. Tetapi untuk -5/2, dia wajib close bracket. So di sini is where you need to be extremely careful. Ikut keadaan soalan, hanya rational inequality sahajalah yang begini. So rational inequality said that it is always closed untuk bahagian atas numerator. Tetapi untuk denominator, it will always be open because di bawah ni, kalaulah x ini included as a -1, -1 plus with 1, it gonna give us 0. And we said already, denominator cannot be 0. Kalau tak, dia tidak dipanggil sebagai rational inequality already. And so we need to remind ourselves, denominator di bahagian bawah cannot be 0. Ini adalah facts, ya. We need to remember the definition of that. And so, again, we just continue with the test value and so on. Masukkan nilai, ini adalah -3. Saya nak try sini -3, sini -2, dan sini kosong. And here goes my -2x minus 5. Here goes x plus 1. And here goes my rational inequalities. And so, I masukkan test value saya. Saya akan nampak -3 and 6 minus 5 is positive. Here is negative, here is negative. Well, this one is negative, and this is still negative, and this is positive. So as a conclusion, this is negative, positive, negative. So pemilihan dia sekarang macam mana? Pemilihan dia sama ada dia positif untuk jawapan ini ataupun dia negatif untuk kedua-dua jawapan itu. So how do I know whether which one should I choose, whether negative or positive sign? How do I know it? Can you suggest? How do I know whether it's positive or negative, this one? It is very simple. You just follow your latest inequalities. What is your latest inequality said? It said that this is a less than or equal sign. So less than or equal sign, you must take negative sign lah. So negative sign mean less than bermaksud negative lah kan? Negative sign. Negative sign. Therefore, your answer is just this and this interval. Therefore, in the end, tuliskan jawapan dalam bentuk interval union. Jangan lupa union kita. And then answer, the final answer untuk dalam bentuk set notation, the answer is x less than or equals to -5/2, or the word or jangan tinggalkan. X is more than -1. So be careful ya, be careful, be extremely careful. Sini open, therefore it's tak ada equal lah. This is closed, therefore ada equal. So be very careful at your final answer. Equal and not equal are two different things. So mathematics are very meticulous. You kena sangat jadi orang yang particular lah. Dalam matematik ni, Orang matematik ni dia sangat particular sama ada dia close bracket, yang tu semua lain bagi dia. So if you want to become a mathematician, you must be very extremely sensitive and careful of the inclusive and not inclusive sign lah. Alright. And final one from me. This is also a rational inequality. Cuma you akan terkejut. Soalannya lain sedikit. This is rational. Pembahagi dia, ada pembahagi atas bawah. Cumanya atas ni dia positive values. Positive values pula. Atas ni adalah quadratic tau. Walhal yang you tengok problem you, dua-dua ni linear. Dua-dua ni atas bawah adalah linear, isn't it? So this problem and this problem is a bit different. Tapi teknik dia sama. So don't be afraid of it. The technique is the same. So how do you do that? You just have to factorize it. So when you factorize it, it will become x times x, 2 times 2. Here goes minus minus. And so you will see that, oh, it's okay. I will see what is this? I will see this. I'm seeing a quadratic juga, tetapi dalam ni linear kan? So it's fine. I'm okay. I'm totally fine because it can be factorized. And so when I factorize, I've got a square there. It doesn't matter. It's okay. But just follow the step. Iaitu kita memang nak cari dua perkara ini. X minus 2 squared is equal to 0. Or x minus 5 is equal to 0. The thing is, as I said so many times just now, denominator cannot be 0. So we put there dengan terang-terangnya not equal to 0 at the denominator. Sebab apa? Sebab sebabnya rational inequality tidak boleh ada 0. Tidak mungkin sesuatu over 0 di bahagian denominator. Tak boleh. Impossible for rational inequality to be 0 di bahagian bawah. Impossible. And so we put a not equal sign lah. This is not equal sign. So make sure you write down some notes lah kan. And then tapi kita boleh tahuin bahawa x ini tidak akan mungkin bersamaan dengan nombor 5. And so this number is actually gonna give you an open bracket. And while this one, it will give you a number, and the significant number is 2. So in fact, this is an equal sign, therefore it's a closed bracket. It's a closed bracket. So ada dua benda yang berbeza again. But why do I say it's closed? Maybe I did some mistakes here. What is the mistakes? The mistake here is it should not be closed. It should be closed. It should be open. It should be open bracket as well. Kenapa dia open bracket? Sebab dalam ini latest inequality kita, the latest inequality, our latest inequality said that this is more than or equal to 0. So more than or equal to 0, dia tak ada equal sign, no equal sign. So no equal sign meaning everything is open. Everything is open meaning not inclusive lah. The number of 2 and 5 the number of 2 and 5 are both open. That is why tak ada yang termasuk pun. Sebab dua-dua ni soalan ni, the latest inequality said that it is just more than 0. So more than 0 is just no equal sign, you know. No equal sign means not inclusive lah. Not inclusive for both numbers, you know. Both numbers are not inclusive. So 5 is more than infinity, towards infinity, 2 Negative infinity is from 2. So everything is open kan je lah, jangan takut. And in the end, masukkan test value, you will get here 1, 3 and 6. Sometimes some of us suka pakai kosong, saya lah tu. Saya memang suka pakai kosong, and then I masukkan x minus 2 squared, x minus 5, you know. So in the end, here goes x minus 2 squared over x minus 5. That's my rational. And so I submit in. Semua ni, kalau you perasan, bahagian yang ada squared, everything is positive. Kalau you sedar betul-betul, masuklah nilai apa pun dalam squared, everything will give you positive. While the rest of it, here goes negative, positive. So in the end, the answer is just negative, positive. Cumanya hati-hati pemilihan kepada jawapan ini berdasarkan our latest inequalities. So our latest inequality said that it is more than. Simbol ini penting. This symbol said that we need to choose a positive sign. Therefore, this is the only answers. So jawapan akhirnya adalah therefore 5 until infinity only. Inilah jawapan akhir dia, ataupun jawapan yang secara set notation, it will become x is more than 5, not included. That's it. That is the answer for my last question. And we're done here. And I would like you to try it yourself. Question di bawah ni, please do it yourself and see whether you got the answer. Sekarang, tolong jawab soalan ini. Sebelum isi Google Form tu, make sure you have done question C. Jawapan, test yourself whether you get this one or not. Tengok diri you sama ada you follow arahan saya untuk soalan ini. So please make sure you write down both answers. Di mana beginilah. Or x is more than or equal to 7 over 2. So di sinilah teruji you punya penulisan, sama ada you betul-betul tahu menulis secara dua-dua cara ini, and whether you try to follow my instructions saying that we must not cross multiply. What we need to do is just bring it all to the left hand side until we got this form, you know. Everything on the right hand side here is equals to 0. I mean the inequality more than 0 lah in this case. And then you will go through the TOS again and again for every quadratic and rational. So secara konklusinya, quadratic dan rational akan memakai teknik TOS, table of sign. Linear inequalities tidak perlu TOS. Itulah konklusi untuk hari ini. Terima kasih kerana spend 1 jam 3 minit bersama saya. Assalamualaikum, and I'll see you in the tutorial tomorrow. Thank you for listening.